and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I am making a very simple, plain, unscented soap, but it's not so simple and plain. There's a couple of special things I love about this soap. If you are very sensitive to fragrances, and even essential oils sometimes can trigger headaches in people, so I love to keep an unscented soap in stock, and I have a girlfriend that asked me to make her some of this soap too, so I'm doing a double batch today of creamy unscented soap. So I'm going to use goat milk and oil method like I do, and I'm going to add a little cream powder into the oils also, just to make this super luxurious. Just because it doesn't have fragrance doesn't mean it can't be super special. For the color swirl, I'm going to use this French green clay. I buy it in bulk. I think I got this bag from Wholesale Supplies Plus. I'll try to find where I got it from, but I get big bags because I use a lot of it, and it's so green clay. It has some wonderful skin properties. It makes for a beautiful slippy lather. I just love everything about it. Super gentle. So that's going to be the color swirl along with the white kaolin in the uncolored portion, but because this is not really a green color, it's kind of a sea mossy color, just a little beigey, I am going to put just a touch of my Bee Scented olive green in there, just to kick that green up a bump. Not a lot, but just a touch in there, because I really want the swirls to come out. Since this is unscented, really just the visual clay swirls and just the creaminess and the lather is what's going to be the feature in this bar. So that is about it. I'm going to get everything pulled together, get my goat's milk out of the freezer and getting it ready to go. And let's come back and make some creamy unscented soap. All right, we're back to add our soap additives in our unscented soaps today. So let's start with the liquid here. Goat milk in oil method is what we're doing. And so I have my pre-measured out goat milk for each bin. When I do a double batch, I like to do 2 single batches. I don't want to have a massive container and deal with that. This is just much easier for me to deal with two regular size batches when I do a double batch. So I've got double everything here, double the goat milk. And now for the dry ingredients. Got my heavy cream powder, and this is just going to bump up that milky, luscious feel to the lather. Love it. This is a 2 tablespoon measurement, so I'll do 2 tablespoons in each bucket here. And my kaolin clay and colloidal oats as per usual, and this is also a 2 tablespoon scoop with a little bit heaping, but hey, why not? And I am going to do the white kaolin clay in everything and then color swirl with the green clay, because I don't think you can have too much clay. I just love it. And so white kaolin's going in everything. And then we will do the color after we get the lye in there and split off. Once we reach emulsion and a light trace, we'll go ahead and split off for our green color. But right now, let's get these all blended up and let them sit as my lye water is cooling. Back with the lye solution, and I figured I'd show you the temperature. I guess I get asked a lot, what temperature do I soap at? And I don't have a hard and fast rule. My studio down here where I'm soaping is about 68 degrees, and so my soap right now, I'm going to give this a little blend and take the temperature, is at 79, and my lye solution is cooled off to 72. So that's pretty close. I'm happy with that. Normally, I will soap anywhere under 90 degrees Fahrenheit, anywhere in the 80s and 70s. Totally happy. I've soaped cooler. I've soaped warmer than that, but that's usually about where my soap tends to be when I get ready to make it. So that's where we're at. Here's the lye solution. Oh, and by the way, these buckets that I'm working in today are from Webstaurant. I will try to find the link for these particular ones, but they just have great mixing containers over there for a good price. So if I can find the link for these exact 6-liter bowls, I will leave it down below for Webstron. I'm not affiliated with them. I just think they have really good prices. So let's add the lye solution in here. This has cane sugar, tussa silk, and sodium lactate, as per usual for me. And I'm going to get up to a nice light trace, and then we will split off for our green clay and a touch of mica color. And after I get this in the mold, I'm going to do a hanger swirl today, just because I think swirly is going to look beautiful with that green color. next day. It's been 24 hours since we got this in the mold, and this is exactly how it sat over there on my shelf. I double stacked them, put the lid on, and just put a fleece blanket over the top. So these did go through gel phase last night. So let's get in here and see how those swirls came out. Of course, there was no fragrance in here to speed things along, so this was a very slow trace. And it took so long for it to get firm enough on top to texture. I walked away and I forgot to come back. And so it was pretty stiff when I came down to do the top. I think they came out cute anyway, but it was about an hour and a half after these were in the mold before it got firm enough where I could come in and texture. So wasn't quite the top I had envisioned, but I think it's beautiful. So let's get in here and check out those swirls. We are back, and it's time to cut into our first loaf here. And there's a closer look at the top. Yeah, I think it's adorable. And the cute bars, or the cut bars, are still going to be cute, I think. I just walked away, and I meant to set a timer to remind myself to come check on the soap, and I forgot to set a timer, and that is a story of my life. I will walk away from something and forget, and yeah, that's me. That is how I roll. Pretty swirls though. I'm happy with these. And of course there is no fragrance to talk about, but there's some pretty swirls. And you know, these just smell soapy. Soap does have its own sort of natural scent, which I actually really love. It just smells really clean and soapy. What do you think? Do you like just a natural scented soap, or are you like fragrance all the way kind of person? I tend to grab the fragrances. That is my comfort zone. I love the pretty smells, but I do really appreciate just a clean smelling bar of soap. So I totally get that. I'd love to hear what you all think about that. Unscented versus fragranced versus essential oils. And that's a whole other thing. I mean, there are medicinal qualities to essential oils, but of course this is soap, so all I'm really saying is it's going to get you clean. But some people will put essential oils in their soaps only, and some of the combinations you can do with essential oils are quite impressive. They can get quite a range of really nice scents with blending different essential oils, and I haven't really delved into that too much, but I really appreciate the people that do that. I think it's fantastic. So let's keep on cutting. All right, let's get into our next loaf here. And let's talk about, just briefly, I'm not going to go in depth here, but we'll talk about gel phase. And gel phase is the heated phase of saponification. It's when the oils and the sodium hydroxide are doing their chemical thing. And that's one of the beautiful things about soap making, is the whole chemistry behind it is beautiful. But they go through a heated phase, and that's the saponification process doing its thing. So gel is the heated saponification phase, and I do like to gel my soaps. And I like to put a blanket over them so that they go through a full gel phase. Even my milk soaps with the cream powder, the goat milk in here, even if this was 100% goat milk soap, I still like gel phase. Now I know I have a girlfriend in fact that makes the most beautiful goat milk soaps, and she has her own goats, and it's just gorgeous. And she does not like gel phase. She takes her soaps, pours it in the mold, and pops it right into the refrigerator. She does not want gel phase going on. And her soaps are gorgeous. After the cure time, the finished bars are beautiful. One of the reasons I like to gel my soaps is because it does force that saponification process to go through. They unmold a little faster. I think it makes the colors a little more vibrant, and it can give a glossier finish to the soap. So I personally, I'm a gel girl. I like to gel. But it's a personal preference. And if you've never tried it one way or the other, I challenge you to give it a try. I have popped my soaps in the fridge, so I have tried it both ways. I prefer gel, but I suggest if you're a soaper and you've never tried the refrigerator method, give it a whirl, see how you like it. Or if you've never tried to gel, give that a try and see how you like it. The differences are very subtle, and at the end of the day, in 4 to 6 weeks, when these are all cured, if you handed me 2 bars of soap, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you, oh, that one was gelled and that one wasn't. I really don't think it's that significant of a difference. But that's just my 2 cents worth. I could do a whole video on gel versus non-gel because it is a big topic, but so that is the very abbreviated version. All right, let's get to the next loaf here. And that's one of the things about soaping is you will kind of develop your own soaping personality, if you will, and find things that you like, things that you prefer, just sort of your own soaping routine. And I love that. It's not exactly the same for everybody. Like some people like to master batch their oils and get it all prepped ahead of time. I tend to like to measure my oils out 1 or 2 batches at a time. I like to do things in bite-sized pieces. Like this double batch today, I did 2 single batches rather than 1 big, huge, ginormous batch. And that's just kind of how I wrap my mind around things. But I love it that some people have, you know, a different routine than I do, but it works for them. So you might have to find, you know, if you're a soaper, find out your own sort of niche, your routine. What do you like? Do you really like having like one day where you prep all your oils for the week for all of your batches of soap and then you don't have to think about it? I can totally see the efficiency in that. That's not how I do it. I kind of do it 1 batch at a time as inspiration hits me, but yeah. And you will, if you are a soaper and you've been doing it for any amount of time, you will sort of find yourself getting into a groove, and I love that. All right, let's keep going. This was very fluid. You can see even with the hanger swirl, it got sort of not muddied up, but a little bit. But I think it's beautiful. It's very subtle. All right, let's get into this loaf. It's kind of fun. I think cutting soap is very relaxing. It's one of the more soothing parts of the whole process, and I love it. So with that being said, I'm just going to keep on cutting these, and they will sit for a couple of hours to let the surface area dry before I come in with my handy dandy vegetable peeler and bevel the sides, and then come in with my stamp and do my stamping and all the stuff that I like to do to my soaps. And I thank you so much for joining me today. And please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, bell for notifications, all that good stuff so you don't miss anything going on in the soap studio. I appreciate you taking the time, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.